Is this really my first video? Hey, my name is DreamyRoses, call me Dreamy, and welcome to my channel. I originally was gonna make an introduction video, but I honestly got pretty lazy and just decided to dive right into the content. And what better way to do that than a redesign video for a controversial game? Growing up, I've always loved watching Markiplier or Jay from the Cub Scouts playing Yandere Simulator, and later down the line of gaining a consciousness and looking deep into the game, it kind of sucks. I've been itching to make some kind of redesign for some time now, and I'm happy to be able to come out of my little cave in my room to show you the art I made like a little 5-year-old showing their parents their arts and crafts project. Absolutely beautiful. To get started, for those who don't know, Yandere Simulator is a simulation game where you play as a high school girl trying to win over her love interest. Or, as the official website says, Yandere Simulator is a stealth game about stalking a boy and secretly eliminating anyone who seems interested in him while maintaining the image of an innocent high school girl. Sounds simple to understand, right? Right? Okay. But this game has had its hardships, and by hardships, I mean it's been in the making for about 10 to 12 years, the creator's a major creep, and every other concept in the game only holds up on volunteer work, and the voice actors don't get paid, and by just looking at the girls' designs, you immediately get this sick feeling of the ick. So, yeah, the game and its history of it's something. And as a writer and artist myself, I wanted to try and take on this challenge of the game and make it good. Great, even. You never know. While writing this script, I realized that I didn't just want to be a redesign, but I also wanted to make this into a project. So yes, this is a redesign video, but this is also something else, and maybe after the video I'll post more content about these little guys here and there because I've gotten a little attached to them. Just a little bit. But let's stop rambling and actually get into the redesign itself. Okay, so I'm gonna stop writing the script-wise, so everything I'm kind of just saying is just going off of everything that I created because I hate sitting down and writing scripts, but it is what it is. So I decided for the new main character would no longer, all the characters' names have been changed. They're no longer like Ayana Aishi or Taro Yamada, blah blah blah. The new main character is named Aoi. I'm gonna put their names on screen because I don't have it written down as I'm speaking right now, but Aoi, I imagined, is just this very quiet person, enjoys writing, and has like a few friends that they would usually keep close. Their family is, very well put off. They make enough money to get by. I imagine that Aoi does have some like few noisy cousins that's like rambunctious every now and then they get involved. But how they met the love interest is usually more kind of one of those occurrences where it just happened. Aoi is friends with like the new character that is like in place of Osana. I decided that Osana is no longer like the Taro Yamada's best friend. I thought it'd be a cool idea if I make Osana like Ayano's friend, if that makes sense instead. So the roles have reversed there, and Osana kind of just like slowly introduced Ayano or Aoi, however the fuck they want to call their names, kind of like a neighborly friend. They're all like just kind of in the nearby of their neighborhoods together, and they all kind of just like slowly start meeting each other. But Ayano or Io, I'm gonna call them by the game names first, make this less confusing for y'all. Anywho, but Ayano basically is a first year, and Osana is a second year, and then Taro is a third year. I thought it'd be better to make Ayano a first year instead. I thought that would fit more into the game, and I would get into why I decided to actually name the game third year instead, but we're going off track. Anywho, Osana like kind of introduced Ayano to Taro, and that's how they first met, maybe about like a year ago, before their college, prep school, whatever you want to call it. They'd seen each other before, but it was very shortcomings, and Ayano slowly was like, well, damn, shit, I kind of like this guy, and things went off from there. I thought it'd be a cool idea if you could choose, the genders of not only the character that you play as, but also your love interest, so that's why they each have like 3 different options here. When it comes to Taro himself as a character, I would say that they're very social, very relaxed. They have a good handful of friends. They volunteered for student council at some previous year when they were still in high school, and then eventually was like, okay, I had my time, and left. And that was also how Taro knew one of the other rivals, if you can call him that, which we're gonna get into later. But so Taro does have their little sister rival still. I decided not to make the sister a rival. I thought that was very weird. I thought that it was weird how the teachers and his sister was a rival. I removed all of that. They're not rivals anymore. You don't have to worry about that. Don't worry. Taro is a little bit, I wouldn't say naive, but some things just fly over his head. It could be like a joke. It could be like something he needs to do. Definitely writes it down. He definitely writes stuff down to remember it and do it later. But he can also be very coy. If you joke with him like a certain way, I feel like he could make somebody flustered on accident. I think that's like just how his personal behavior would be, which is probably why so many people probably like this guy. You know, they're like accidentally having like 6 crushes. Whoops. But I thought that was pretty funny. Going on to their dynamic, I think Taro would see the Ayano kind of like this is my friend's like little sister vibe at first, and then slowly start to be like, okay, this is like one of my friends now. I would say that when you first play, in this case scenario, if this really was a game, they will be friends at this point. You see each other every now and then, you might study with them a bit, you might, hang out over their house, but it's more like casual kept, When it comes to how Taro sees Ayano, definitely has some respect. I feel like they would like admire their fascination with like certain hobbies or what they study on a very respectful way. And I feel like with Ayano's side, that would kind of piss him off a little bit. It would piss him off in a sense like, is that it? Ayano's side would slowly kind of unhealthily wanting to get Taro's attention more. So that could be within hanging out with them more, that could be with just following around the school a little bit, slowly developing this crush into stalker territory very negatively. Ayano definitely has some connectional issues, I would say. I feel like they would have emotional attachments, and that would be something that they would struggle with themselves, why they keep like so many few people. I wanted to get into it a little more. But yeah, that's how I have so far for the main 2 protagonists, and let's move on to the next characters. Mentioned before, I did take away the teachers and the sister as the rivals. Like I said, I thought it was pretty weird. So we're kind of just left with like 6 others, because I also had forgotten one more that felt, I think it was the delinquent. It felt just really, I don't know where to put it. But starting off with the Osana, I don't remember all their names, so I'm going to tell you the new names that I got. So starting off from left to right, for as we're watching, it is Ayaka Yoshida, Yuki Inoi, Nanami, how do I say this? Nanami Mori, Kohaku Aoki, Miyaru Tanaka, and Masaki Nakamura. Sorry if I had pronounced these, like, wrong. Pardon me with my American ass, but, Ayaka is the Osana, the BFF now, to Ado, the new Ayano Aishi, or whatever you want to call it. I figured she was, like, very social, I would say, kind of like a not really like following the stereotype. I still wanted her to have her moments where she can seem like dozed off for a bit, or she could be like quiet, but I imagine that she does have a couple of friends here and there. I feel like she'll be easier to make friends with the first years. She's a second year, mainly because she kind of just looks after them and they kind of look up to her and admire her for that. She's not in any clubs particularly. She's studying hospitality, so she doesn't really plan, I guess. So she's studying hospitality and she's very, very sweet to people. I imagine that she does have a bit of anxiety to talk to new people, but once she is comfortable with the person, then she can just like really show her personality. Up next is Yuki Inoi, who was like the cook rival. I don't remember her name. Yuki is very quiet. She is seeming calm. She has like a few admirers in the school because they just loved her soft look. I imagine her voice is very light, and I imagine that she does like lighter things, but I also feel like she would have like at some point, it's very rare, but she can get really angry. She is still, I didn't make her the club leader, but she is like one of the best cooks they have in like the home ed class, and she mostly like plans for a lot of stuff. The main like council for the club or whatever, or the classes, kind of is like a little bit lazy, I imagine, so she takes up a lot of the work instead. I feel like though Yuki would struggle with mental health, and I had imagined like a cook with an eating disorder with that irony for it. She can be like very socially exhausted at times and will just like take a few days to rest at home. But I'll get into a little bit more later with that. Moving on to Nanami Mori, who is, I think what her name was like Koharu or something like that. I don't remember. No, not Koharu, that's the other one. I don't remember. Kokna, maybe? But she was like the drama club leader. I made Nanami, heavily based off the Gyaru fashion. I thought it would fit her really, really well. I didn't make her part of the drama club, but I did make her like interested in it, like maybe thinking about it. She's also she's more new to the school. I haven't decided on whether or not to make her a first year or second year yet, so it's kind of still in the air, but she definitely has a taste for fashion. I thought that would fit more with her. She's actually very shy. Like, she has a few friends to her name, and she rarely speaks up herself. But when she does, she's very, very articulate with her words. She's very knowledgeable with a lot of topics that not many people would expect her to be. Kind of like a Not What It Seems. I imagine out of all the rivals, actually, except for the council, she has the highest GPA, which not a lot of people would expect from her appearance, but she's a game changer. I imagine she's a game changer. The next one is Koharu Aoki, who is like the gothic. I think the original one was like part of the occult club. I kept that. I thought it would be a really, really cool idea. Koharu, I thought the name was like so pretty. I knew when I designed her it was gonna stick like that, so it kind of just stuck to me. But Koharu is social. She and Nanami, I imagine, are actually pretty close friends since they were in like middle school or like the prep school or whatever. But Koharu is more vocal, like she's more outgoing, and she's kind of like, she's shockingly active into a lot more activities around the school than just the occult club. I don't think they would have the occult club. I think they would call it like the historically like inaccurate club, which is basically just studying like life history. It could be like within Japanese history or American history or Canadian, and they kind of just branch out, and they do have like a section part of it that does go into like different types of religions. I think that would be the club instead. Still working on it as of right now, but Koharu is really my favorite design besides Yuki, and kind of like the other two as well, which we're gonna get into later. But I loved how I did her hair. I think it just fits so cool. I think she's so unique, and I love her silhouette. I love it. Moving on to Miharu Tanaka. So I didn't choose a gender for Miharu, and along with the last one that we're gonna get into, Masaki, so they're kind of like in the air for, I guess, like personal interpretation. If you think of Miharu or Masaki as a guy or a girl or just a person, non-binary, gender fluid, whatever. So I didn't think it really mattered, in my opinion. I mean, I don't really focus on gender too much when it comes to character designs, unless I'm gonna like tack it on basically, or I just felt it fit. But yeah, the last two are up for interpretation. Miyaru Tanaka is part of the sports academics. They are a third year, and they are the club leader, but they tag team with somebody else, so they both kind of manage all the sports along with some of the teachers. Miharu, I imagine, is actually most active in the swim club and most active in the track meet, but they do take part in some of the other clubs that they have at the school or whatever. Miharu, I imagine, does travel every now and then for some kind of competition, slowly building up their reputation as part of this athletic culture that they have around the country. Miyaru, I imagine, does have dreams of going into the Olympics, but they have a long way to go, but they have a great start. I imagine that Miyaru is like very social too, has like a cocky kind of spiel. People find them charming a lot, and they have like a few admirers here and there, and I imagine Miyaru is like, oh shit, got a little club behind me, kind of like cocky with it, but like cocky in a way where to other people they get like admired by it, kind of like that one guy who was like a host club, the blonde, I forgot his name, I think his name was like Roland or something like that, kind of like that same attitude, you know, which is like a whole other thing that was like pretty cool, got into it. I love history there, but that's Miharu, and I love their long hair. I think it fit them pretty well, and I imagine that it'd be like to their lower back lengthwise. Takes very good care of it, and like gets like tips from Koharu every now and then when they both talk about their hair. They do know each other. And finally, Misaki Nakamura, who is part of the student council as a third year. So Misaki actually does know the Taro Yamada, or Keigo actually, that's their name, I have it written down finally, because Keigo had like helped out with some student council for some time, and then like was like dropped out, just like, yeah, I'm done with it. But Misaki has been part of the student council since like freshman, like first year, you know, like they have been devoted. Misaki wants to work part of Congress in some time and has been deeply studies. They too have a little bit of a fan club because everyone just loves their mysterious look. I imagine they switch between skirts and pants from time to time. Like I said, I feel like they wouldn't really care how they dress as long as it was elegant, you know. Misaki grew out, I had an idea that Misaki only grew out their hair because Misaki does have two younger twin siblings, which I can probably get into another time, and I feel like they would just like play with Misaki's hair, like braid it when they get home and stuff. I would love to do a drawing of that. I think that'd be so sweet. But Misaki is very quiet, demure, however you want to call it, and keeps a few people to their ties. Misaki actually admires the Ayano, Aishi, or Ado from afar, and I feel like they would have like some admiration connection only because of like how quiet they are. Like Misaki really likes people who are like them as well. But yeah, that's the rivals that I have, or however you want to call it so far. That's all of their entirety. So now going on into the world building, I would say this takes place in like 2025, 2026. I haven't really decided yet. I just know it would be like a modern time still. I feel like that this will be still in the city, like Quiet Japan. I was thinking about Kyoto, Japan, but I haven't really decided on a full place yet. I'm looking through the cities right now, and I like to do a little deep dive on it to see if I really decided. I said in the beginning that I was going to make this into a small little project, like on the sidelines, so I'm not going to be calling it Yandere Simulator, I'm going to be calling it Days Until Graduation, and that's because the main character, who is a first year, and then your love interest or whatever, you have until the end of the school year to, like, basically get with him, and I thought that'd be a pretty cool idea, because after that, like, Keigo does plan on going to college and stuff, because this is like the prep high school, like, just to study for, not a high school, this is like after high school before college. It's like one of those prep academies. I gotta like put it on the screen or whatever, but they are adults. The age range is like 18 to 19, 20, 21. I think like 18 to 22, around then. I haven't decided fully yet. Like I said, this is still in the works. But you have until Heigo pretty much graduates, and then after that you still get to see them, but I imagine that for Ado, they would get like really like fucking stressed out, like holy crap, I'm not gonna be able to see them as much. So in Ado's mind, it's like I only have until they graduate, but they're still gonna be seeing each other, so a little bit of a panic inside of Ado's poor little mind. Oh. But the game itself, if this was a game, I barely know code, I barely know C++, I'm at the baby blocks right now, guys, I can't make any promises, okay? I imagine that this would be kind of like a visual novel or like an interactive game. I know Yandere Simulator's gameplays, I like the idea of being able to move around, move freely. I want that to be interpreted in some way and maybe like have a couple of cutscenes. So maybe an interactive like visual novel style, kind of like what's that one game called? I'm trying to think of it at the top of my head. I don't know, I'll put it on the screen or something. Imagine I don't put anything on the screen with my lazy ass. Anywho, but an interactive visual novel, and I did redesign a like very, I don't want to say messy, but like a concept for like the starter game. I'm probably gonna go back. Maybe I might have made it like too friendly at the time, but I thought it would be pretty cool to make it kind of like a Japanese yearbook style, but with like a few bright pop colors. I thought that would make it seem like, oh, it's not what it seems, you know. You're thinking you're gonna walk into like this sweet little love interest kind of visual novel game, and then like deep down inside it has actually a lot to do with mental health and such. And that was what I wanted to talk about further. I wanted to reach about the obscurities when it comes to deeply getting involved with somebody is like deeply fascinated, eventually borderlines of obsession, and how it could like kind of eat away at that person. I don't want to say too much, however, I might like write a little short write-up set. I don't know yet. It's all in the air, but not with just Ado, but also with Yuki's mental health or Miharu's cockiness, and how it could actually make like this feigned inferiority on the inside, especially about like with some of their home life or what had happened now that they are actually away with it at the dorms and such, and being able to like now live on their own, which was another thing. I didn't like it was like in high school. I thought it'd be weird to still involve it with kids, especially with some of the stuff. I know kids can have mental health and stuff, but I felt it would fit better if they were young adults, and I thought it would give them more freedom to interact and move more without the onside of like having their parents nearby or anything like that. You'd be shocked. Kids are sneaky, yes, but when they finally get away, you have like that time as a young adult to like fully figure out what's going on and what to do with your life, and I feel like that would be the perfect time to really have these characters interacting with each other. Alright, so that's all that I have for the Yandere Similar Days to Graduation redesign. I am gonna work on this like every now and then on the sidelines. I do like where it's going, and I had a lot of fun drawing all these characters and making these doodles and sketches of them, and I hope you guys really like what I come up with. Now that you all heard my voice, you all need to die. You all need to go. I was really nervous recording this, and I hope I sound decent. Hopefully. Oh my god, I'm trying not to make this about my voice, but yeah, no, welcome to my channel, welcome to the stuff I do. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. My name is DreamyRoses. I'm just a guy who draws like random shit all the time, so you can see me on my social media and stuff, which will be linked in the description below. And thank you all for watching. Have a good morning, evening, night, wherever the hell you are. Make sure to drink a lot of water because it is getting hot outside. And yeah, bye-bye.